So in this play, you will see that the scenes, they take place alternatively at Venice and Belmont. Act 1, scene 1 was held in Venice. Then scene 2 took place in Belmont. Scene 3 again took place in Venice. And now in Act 2, scene 1, this scene again takes place at Venice, right? Sorry, it again takes place at Belmont. Now, in Act 2, Scene 1, by the end of Act 2, Scene 1, we came to know there were some suitors who came to try their luck to win Portia, but then they decided not to go for the lottery of caskets because they found it difficult, or you can say that they did not want to risk. If they fail to choose the right casket, then they would not be able to, then they will not be able to marry any woman. But a- at the end, the messenger came, or the servant came, telling that a messenger from Prince of Morocco had arrived over there, signifying that Prince of Morocco will be there to woo Portia, right? So this scene is about him only. Enter the Prince of Morocco, a tawny Moor, all in white. No need to say that, but that way, dark complexioned Arabian kind of people. Moor is that, all in white, and he was wearing white clothes, and three or four followers accordingly. So his attendants were also there with him because he was the prince. He was the Prince of Morocco. Morocco, you must be knowing, is in Africa, with Portia, Nerissa, and their train of followers, train of attendants. Now, this fellow, when he belongs to a place where people are usually dark skinned, okay, they are dark in complexion. So, we find Morocco in the beginning of the scene only explaining the reason of his dark complexion. So, he tells Portia, mislike me not for my complexion. Please don't dislike me. It's not mislike, it's dislike. Don't dislike me for my complexion. Complexion is the dark complexion, the shadowed livery of the burnished sun, because it is the shadowed livery. Shadowed, you can say, because it is dark. Livery means uniform. It is the dark uniform of the burnished sun. Burnished means burning sun. This skin of mine, this complexion of mine, is like the dark uniform that I have got because of burning sun, to whom I am a neighbor and near bread. To whom I am a neighbor. I am neighbor to the burning sun. Why? Because he lives near equator where the sun rays fall directly on his country, on his place. That is why people are dark complexioned there. So that's what he explains, that I have near bread means I have brought up in a place which is very near to the sun. That is why sun is our neighbor. And the my dark skin or my dark complexion is like the kind of dark uniform that I have got. Bring me the fairest creature northward born. Bring me the fairest creature. Fairest, means the most fair, with fair skin, white skin, palest skin. Creature northward born, who is born in north, because people born in north are usually fair in complexion than the people born in south. So he says that you bring me the most handsome fellow with fair complexion who is born in the northward, where Phoebus is fire. Phoebus is the classical sun god. Phoebus is used for sun also, where Phoebus is fire. Fire means rays, sun rays. All right. Where Phoebus is fire, Scars is hardly. Thos the iciclus. Thos means melts. The iciclus are long pointed spikes of ice. Long pointed spikes of ice. See, northern this northern region, it has got mountains, right? And these mountains are always covered with ice because they are far from sun, and that is why sun rays hardly reach there, and in that way sun rays are not able to melt the sun rays are not able to melt the ice on the long pointed spikes of these hills or mountains. right? So he is throwing a kind of challenge. First he explains the reason of his own dark complexion, and then in a way he throws a challenge saying that you can bring any person who is born in northward, and due to that he is very handsome and has fair skin, and he belongs to a place where sun rays hardly reach, and let us make incision. Incision is cut in the skin. Incision is cut in skin. And let us make incision for your love, for the sake of love, to prove whose blood is reddest, his or mine. And then let us cut our skin to prove whose blood is reddest. Actually, he is referring to an old belief that the most courageous man has reddest blood. Okay, while a coward has a kind of pale colored or white blood. So, what is he trying to say? He is trying to say that I am such a brave person. Okay, forget my dark complexion. That is due to the sun because we live near the sun. But yes, you can bring any fair creature, any fair person who is born in northward, and let us cut our skin to see whose blood is reddest. He is trying to portray that he is so brave. He will be found brave than that fellow. I tell thee, lady, this aspect of mine, aspect here means appearance. This appearance of mine hath feared the valiant, hath feared means frightened, has frightened the valiant. Valiant means brave, courageous people are called valiant. So he says, this appearance of mine has frightened the brave people. By my love, I swear, the best regarded virgins of our clime, virgins are maids, unmarried women, girls. The best regarded virgins of our clime means country, have loved it too. And he further says that this appearance of mine has frightened the brave people, valiant, and at the same time, the ladies, the women of my country, they have also loved my complexion. I would not change this hue. Hue is the color. I do not want to change this color except to steal your thoughts. Steal your thoughts here means win your affection. I do not want to change the color of my skin except to win your affection, my gentle queen. He means that he is proud of his dark complexion. Right? He is proud of his dark complexion. This complexion of his has frightened the valiant, and at the same time, this has been loved by the ladies of his country, and he doesn't want to change it except in one situation, that is to win Portia's affection. If Portia wants to change, only then he would like to change. Otherwise, he doesn't want to change his complexion. I hope it is clear, Ritisha. Is this speech clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Then Portia says, in terms of choice, I am not solely led by nice direction of a maiden's eyes. Now, Portia explains her situation. She says, in terms of choice, choice of a husband, in terms of as far as choice of a husband is concerned, I am not solely led, I am not only led, I am not only influenced by nice direction of a maiden's eyes. I am not entirely influenced by the attractive looks, okay, which please a maiden's eyes, which please a girl's eyes. Besides, in addition to that, the lottery of my destiny, which lottery is she referring to? That lottery of caskets. Besides, in addition to that, the lottery of my destiny bars me. Bars here means prevents me, forbids me the right of voluntary choosing. Right of voluntary choosing means freedom to choose what I want. Okay? Freedom to choose what I want. She says that this lottery of caskets that has been devised by my father, it prevents me the freedom to choose what I want. But if my father had not scanted me, scanted here you can say deprived me or restricted me, if my father had not deprived me and hedged means bound me, by his wit, wit is the wisdom, by his wisdom to yield myself, yield here means give myself, his wife, who wins me by that means I told you. But she further clarifies, saying that, but even if my father had not deprived me or bound me by his wisdom to give myself as a wife to the person who wins me by the way I told you. And what is that way? That is the lottery of caskets. Your renowned prince, yourself renowned prince, then stood as fair as any comer I have looked on. Yet, as fair as any comer I have looked on yet for my affection. But even if my father had not prevented me the freedom to choose the husband, let me tell you, you would have been standing as fair to me as any other contestant or any other wooer upon whom I have looked for affection. Right? So she is trying to say that outer appearance doesn't affect her much. Morocco says, even for that I thank you. For this compliment also I thank you. Therefore, I pray you lead me to the caskets to try my fortune. Please take me to the caskets where the caskets are kept to try my fortune, to try my luck. By this scimitar, is a short curved sword. Okay, short sword, curved sword. By this scimitar that slew the Sophie, slew means killed Sophie. Sophie was the emperor of Persia. Okay, Sophie, emperor of Persia, and Persian prince, and at the same time he killed Persian prince also, not only the emperor but Persian prince. That won 3 fields of Sultan Suleiman. Sultan Suleiman was a Turkish sultan actually. Okay, Suleiman was a Turkish sultan. So fields here refer to battlefields, 3 battlefields. So he is in a way counting his achievements. He is saying, by this scimitar, by this short sword of mine, I have killed the emperor and prince of Persia. I won 3 battlefields with Sultan Suleiman. I would, and now he says what he can do. This is what he has already done. Okay, slaying Sophie and Persian prince and winning 3 battlefields from Sultan Suleiman. This is what he has done. Now he say, I would means I want, I can do. Overstare the sternest eyes that look. I can even overstare the sternest eyes. Overstare means looking defiantly. Okay, if someone is staring me, I can look defiantly into those eyes. The sternest eyes that look, sternest here means most daring. eyes that look, सबसे ज्यादा ताकत रखने वाले इंसान की आंखों में मैं झांक कर उसको घूर सकता हूं. Outbrave the heart, most daring on the earth. I can outbrave. Outbrave means defy. The heart most daring on the earth. I would defy most daring heart on the earth. Pluck the young sucking cubs from the she bear. I can pluck the young sucking cubs from the she bear. Any wild animal like she bear has been told over here. If her cubs are plucked, if they are fetched at the time when they are being fed by the mother, she gets ferocious. Right? So he says that I am so brave that I can even pluck young sucking cubs from the she bear. Yeah, mock the lion, make fun of the lion when he roars for prey. It is said that lions, at the time when they are roaring for prey, means when they are hungry, they are very wild and ferocious, very threatening at that time. But he says, I am such a brave person that I can even make fun of a lion at the time when he is hunting for prey to win thee, lady. I can do all this to win you. So, what he can do, number one, outstare the sternest eyes that look. Sternest means boldest, most daring eyes. Outbrave the heart, most daring on the earth. I can defy the most daring person on the earth. He says he can pluck young sucking cubs from she bear and mock the lion when he roars for prey. So, in a way, he gives 4 points here. It is a very common question which is asked, what all he claims to be doing, what all he claims that he can do to win Portia. He says that I am such a brave person, I can do any of these things. But alas, the while, but look at the sadness. If Hercules and Lichas play at dice, Hercules was a Greek, he was a very famous Trojan warrior. Okay, in a way, he was a Superman of Greek mythology. Okay, he was a Trojan warrior, very, very famous for his bravery. If Hercules and Lichas was his servant, Lichas was his servant. So he says, if Hercules and Lichas play at dice means play a game of dice, which is the better man, to decide who is the better man, better in courage, better in bravery, the greater throw may turn by fortune, by luck from the weaker hand. So, because this game of dice is decided upon the luck, so it is possible. Everybody knows that Hercules was a warrior, he was so brave. But if both of them, Hercules and his servant, they both are playing a game of dice which completely depends on luck, there is a possibility that the greater throw, better throw, may come from the weaker hand. Means that Lichas may give a greater throw. So is Alcides. Alcides again means Hercules. This was another name for Hercules. So is Alcides beaten by his page. Beaten here means defeated. Page is the servant. And in this way, Hercules may be defeated by his servant. And so may I. And the same thing can happen with me also. Blind fortune leading me. Blind fortune, why? Because fortune here refers to goddess fortune, who is supposed to be blindfolded. Blind fortune leading me, miss that which one unworthier may attain. When I am led by blind fortune, there is a possibility that I miss, that I am defeated, and some unworthier person who is less worthy than me may attain, may achieve, and die with grieving. And I will have to die with grieving, because if I have only blind fortune to lead me, I may miss that which one less worthy may gain, and then I should die of grief. So in a way, he is trying to say that he is a very brave person. He tells what all he has already done. He also tells what he can do to win Portia. But he says the problem is that the kind of task which we are supposed to perform, that is not based on bravery, that is entirely based on luck. And there is a possibility that a weaker person, a less worthy person may gain you. And I, though I deserve you, being a brave person, I deserve you, but I may lose you. Okay, and then I'll have to die with grieving. So for that, Portia says, you must take your chance and either not attempt to choose at all. You must take your chance or either not attempt to choose at all. या तो आप अपना chance ले लो, or you should not attempt at all, or swear before you choose, and you will have to swear before you choose. If you choose wrong, never to speak to lady afterward in way of marriage. And if you choose wrong, and you'll have to swear for one condition. And what is that one condition? That if you choose wrong, अगर आपने गलत casket choose किया, never to speak to lady afterward. उसके बाद आप किसी lady से बात नहीं कर पाएंगे in way of marriage. Okay, to marry her or to propose her. Therefore, be advised. Be advised means be warned. Therefore, be warned. I am warning you earlier only, right? So actually, there were three conditions which were associated with lottery of casket. What were those conditions? The first condition was that if the person fails to choose the right casket, he is not supposed to unfold it. He is not supposed to tell somebody else which casket he chose. Second condition was, if he fails to choose the right casket, he has to leave immediately from there without arguing further. And the third and most important condition, which should be actually the first condition, was that if he fails to choose the right casket, he will never be able to marry any woman throughout his life. So she is telling Morocco the most important condition, that if you either you attempt your trial or you don't go for it, because if you go for it and you fail to choose the right casket, then you will not be able to marry anybody. So for that, Morocco says, nor will not. No, I will not propose any lady. Come, bring me unto my chance. Chance means trial. Now, see, he is the first suitor. There were other suitors also who have been discussed in Act 1, Scene 2, but they all decided not to go for the lottery. Now, he is the first suitor who has agreed to the lottery. For that, Portia says, first forward to the temple, but before that, you will have to go to the temple. Temple, forward here means let us go forward to the temple. Temple is a kind of private chapel, where oath is to be taken. What kind of oath? Yes, one more thing which you need to understand, that in Elizabethan time, beta, oaths and swearings, they were taken very seriously. Okay, if someone is taking an oath, then he cannot forsake it, he cannot give it up. Okay, if a person gives up or breaks his oath, his promise, that person was called forsworn, which was a kind of what you call it, it was a kind of sin. Okay, and it was believed that if someone breaks his oath, then that person will go to hell, he will never be able to reach heaven. So that is why these people, they used to take swearings and oaths very seriously. And that is the reason, before any suitor wants to take a chance over those caskets, he is being taken to the temple. Temple, you can say, is actually the private chapel, not the church, which is for public. This used to be the private chapel. So that person is taken there, and he has to take oath to be abide by these three conditions, right? After dinner, your hazard shall be made. Hazard here, you can say gamble. The kind of risk that you are going to take, that gamble will be made after dinner. Morocco says, good fortune then to make me blessed or cursed among men. So he wishes himself luck. Then good fortune to make me blessed or cursed among men, among people. And then they exit from there.